Hey guys. So, I want to talk about. If you look at my videos, most of the time I criticize things. Uh, I, I, uh, it may look like I'm by nature somewhat of a negative person, which again I'm totally fine with it. Uh, but I was thinking about like, okay, I most of my video ideas when I make a video, and usually the way it works for me is that I just I don't know, I'm on my way, I'm doing my daily routine or whatever, anything, and just suddenly just something pops in my mind, so a thought, and I try to expand it. So that's why I make these videos. But most of my videos are around somewhat of a problems and issues that I have, concerns, thoughts, and I was thinking about like I want to make a video, at least one, which is not about like criticizing something or explaining why life is pretty shit, but uh, but it's more about like, okay, so what I'm, because it's easy to criticize something, but it's difficult to present a viable alternative. And because of this, I want to talk about. I understand how these are the problems in my life. These are the problems of where I want to go. But okay, so what would be the ideal goal for me? What's my aim with this? Like, okay, am I just a grumpy dude who complains about everything, or actually I have a plan to get to a certain point where I would say, okay, now I think I'm at somewhat of a harmony, and most of those things that I was able to leave behind, it doesn't bother me anymore. And I try. I'm convinced that I'm not just a grumpy complaining dude. Probably I have a little bit of that as well. If you're a thinker, then I think this is with you 24/7, and then you think about everything in a way like, how can I improve it? How, what I think about it? How can we make progress here and there? So this is just like the nature of you. But in this video, I will talk about what freedom, what my ultimate goal would be, and is, by the way. So I think, yeah, I just said it, freedom. What I mean by that, physical, mental freedom. I think the most valuable resource anyone can have in this human life is time. That's why. That's part of the reason why I'm fascinated by time. Um, and if you can uh, control your own time, that means I think you are free, and freedom is the primary goal. What I mean by that, I think that's the most basic human question of what's the meaning of life. In my opinion, you cannot give an answer to this question until you are free. Until you're free, you're not living your own life. And as soon as you can achieve that, you can get to a point where you are living your own life. When you're free, that's the point. Basically, that's when you are born. That's when you are actually born. That should be the day of your birthday, not your biological birthday. Because from that point in time, you have a chance to figure out exactly what's the meaning of your life. Without this, I think this is impossible. If you are unable to get to this point where you're actually free, then you will never find your true intent of why you're here. This is my belief. So to me, the most important part is to get to that level, get that freedom. That means clearly in this world, to translate this to the physical world that we live in. That means to have your own business. By the way, also very interesting idea, the UBI, the Universal Basic Income. I want to pick your brain, guys. What do you think about that? That you guys probably heard about it. That there are a few plans that automation will take away so many jobs that The majority of modern society will be simply out of job, like because humans became obsolete. Machines take over, artificial intelligence takes over, and because of this, there are two ways forward out of this. One is as soon as the majority of a society becomes jobless, and that means there will be a revolution. This is one. There has to be a revolution because people will starve. People won't have money to buy food and pay their bills and educate to send their children to schools. There will either be a revolution when you don't have, or the B. That's version A. That's the organic, natural way as it looks today. But there's a version B, which is the universal basic income, which means that everybody can get the level of financial support, even independently whether they work or not. And this is from the state, from the government. That should guarantee or ensure that even if the majority of a society becomes jobless or out of work, they're not going to rebel against the government because they still have food, they still have a place to live, so they can just stay there and enjoy life. There are millions of questions in that matter, by the way. And there are so many different aspects of the universal basic income, but I'm not going into that now because that will be a different video. So the ultimate goal is freedom. No, that's not true. I think the ultimate goal is to find out who you are and what's your goal here in this life. This is the ultimate goal. Every human being who comes to this world has to find their own meaning. Who am I? Why am I here? What I want to do? This is the ultimate goal. And probably you just want to have family or anything. There can be so many things, I think. Probably you want to be an artist. Probably you want to push the world to a better place. You want to make the world a better place. Probably you want to make the world a worse place. Why not? Probably you want to express your thoughts. Probably you don't want to do anything. Probably you just want to jerk off. Probably you just want to masturbate 24/7. I think, by the way, there are a lot of people who just don't want to anything. They just want to enjoy life, and that's it. By the way, I think that's the most. I'm jealous of those people who do this. I would love to be that person, but I cannot for some reason. Anyway, so freedom. We have to get freedom. I think this is the most important. So you have to have your own business, and so the first freedom is that you have to break the cycle and stop working for money. This is ridiculous. That means employment, right? The employment as we know today, wage slave, the term. It's so funny when I was thinking about these things, and I just heard that the phrase wage slave, and I was shocked that this term was coined probably 150 years ago. So this is nothing new, okay? This is something that was known even 150 years ago, and nothing changed for 150 years in that matter. The majority of the population are wage slave. That means you have to work to get food and pay bills. So in order you can work that's the cycle. That's the never-ending cycle. You have to break that cycle, and in my opinion, this is the most important thing. This is the first step toward answering the question, why am I here? First step, become free. Second of all, who am I? Why am I here? By the way, if you think about that, that you can break down. So okay, let's look at humans. Okay, we as a humans, as an alive individual, someone who can see, who can breathe, who can experience things, who can sleep, who can dream, who can imagine, who can feel food, tastes, whatever, who can feel emotion, who can feel passion. Humans as a biological entity is just mind-blowing. It's fascinating. The human body itself is fascinating, and since time is our most valuable resource, it is beyond my understanding. How can we live in a world where you can put a price tag on your time. To me, this is I I really cannot like comprehend this. I cannot understand this. Like how can we on a daily basis talk about, uh, for example, when you negotiate a salary, you are negotiating about your life, physically your life, because you're going to sell your time in return of a currency, a money. But if you try to compare those two, you have to burst out of laughter. There's no way then you can put these two things together. The life of a living entity, which is the most fascinating thing in the universe, as based okay within our own limited mind. Okay, so I'm not saying there are no more exciting things than that in the universe, but that any human can imagine is the most exciting and most extreme experience that you can have, is that you are here, that you can walk, you can eat, you can experience life. And put that on one side of the scale, and then you put some stone on the other side of the scale, and you can compare these two. Really, we should be ashamed of ourselves. We as humans should be ashamed of ourselves that we can measure life this way. It's just, it's pathetic. It's really pathetic. But anyway, so my goal. Okay, I was sidetracked about this a little bit. So to me, this when you say you can earn like okay $20, $50, I don't care. You can say a number, $1 million an hour. Okay, that's pretty nice, by the way. But if I think about it, you cannot. You should not. It should be illegal to measure human life uh, based on money. That should be banned and should be illegal. By the way, I have an idea of, because I'm okay. I know I'm idealistic, but I'm not stupid. I understand we can't change the world from one day to another, and there's a reason why economy was built and how economy works and society and money and stuff like that. So the work to some extent is necessary, but I don't understand why in this world they are not lending your skills. Why they how can companies get away with lending your time? How? They are buying your time. Because if you are a professional in something, or you know how to do something, and someone, a company for example, needs that resource, I understand that. Okay, they can ask you to do certain things for them, which is good. But how on earth is it reasonable, or it's sane to buy someone's time? How? It is why is this not legal? Illegal. Why this is not illegal? Tell me. I don't understand. How can you born into this world and not question this? Like, really? You going to buy life with money? What the fuck? What world is this? How this is not, I don't understand. And again, back to my thoughts. I'm not talking about buying resources, because if I have a skill, if you want to pay for my skill, it's okay. But you cannot tell me to work 8 hours a day. You cannot tell me to work 6 hours a day. You cannot tell me where do you want me to sit. You cannot tell me. That's just nonsense, okay? Ultimately, you need my skill, right? Everything else beyond that, my time, where I sit, etc., 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 is unnecessary and pointless. I mean, it's part of the scheme of controlling you, obviously. But from a reasonable point of view, this is bizarre and stupid and outrageous. No one would be allowed in my world. If I would make these decisions, if I would be the universe, if I would be the ultimate boss of Earth, okay, I would be responsible for Earth. I'm a superhuman. I'm a Okay, so I'm a supernatural being who's responsible for Earth. I would say, all right, guys, It's illegal to convert life to some stupid crap like money or food or whatever. No, 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 no. And by the way, I know you're asking me, okay, but I have to buy food, I have to buy bills, and I have to pay bills and stuff like that. But there are always other ways how to survive. Like we had millions of fucking years surviving. And this whole structure, social structure that we have here is only like 250 years old since the Industrial Revolution. So this has to change. Okay, this is horrible, and uh, I know I sound like some anarchist who's complaining about everything. But just think about these things. Like, can you value how? I still didn't understand that. It's really I wish I could understand that. Like how can you go into a room with people representing a company? By the way, I love that too. It's funny when there are people in representing the company and they think they are the company. Fuck no, you're just a resource, exactly as replaceable and as anyone else. You're just a stupid, simple resource. So funny. Human mind is absolutely mind blowing. I love it. So you walk into this room, and there will be a few HR individuals, right, from HR, and then you start to negotiate about your life. Like, okay, here I am, one of the most fascinating thing in the universe. Okay, I can, even just the existence of this body, even just the existence of this body, that I'm alive. It's beyond anything that you can understand. Still, I came to trade it for a bag of potato. How about that? And then, okay, sounds good, right? So how much you want for your life? Your super fascinating creature. How many potatoes you want? And then you're like, I don't know, like 10 potato per hour, right? 10 potato per little, just a little bit of my life, 10 potato, let's count that. And then the HR will say, you kidding, right? 10 potato for life? How about 5? And you should like, Scotty, beam me up. Like, I want to be out. I want to be out. This discussion is ridiculous, okay? Like, we are really arguing about how many potatoes you're going to give me for my life. And when I ask for 10, which is already ridiculous and pathetic, and I should be killed, I should be shot on sight because I'm already pathetic. Like, I am going to sell my life for potato. I'm already pathetic, but I still have to negotiate. And you tell me that what I asked for, which is already insane and is too much. That's what's happening now. Really? All right. Can I take this discussion a bit less serious, because now this is this. So what I just described is a very typical salary negotiation during an interview. And thousands, if not millions, of people are doing this every single day without realizing that I am selling my life. What the fuck? Really? The most. Jesus. And I have to negotiate, really? Because you think, 5 rocks is not enough? It's too much, 5 rocks? You want to give me 2.5 rocks? Oh my God. What am I? What I think about myself. How little I think about myself. That I came here to sell my life. Oh my God. Anyway, to me this reminds me of the Truman Show, guys. When when you have these obvious signs that we're living in a simulation. In real world, this would never happen. Like, I cannot imagine that under any circumstances this can be real. This cannot be real, okay? And still no one's raising the questions. Like no one is like, hold on for a second. Is this real? First of all, it's so bizarre that it's actually funny. So if the job interview, the job interview uh, uh, I just described or portrayed, the salary negotiation. If I'm from another planet, then it looks like a comedy sketch. It looks like a Monty Python sketch because it's so bizarre. Still, people have to accept this context and take it seriously because their life depends on it, because they have to pay their bills and they have to buy food. The sad part is we're not taught anymore how to get food without this stupid process. We're not. That's the only way. That's what how you grow up. That's what they keep telling you. That's the only way to survive in this world. It's absolutely bullshit. Anyway, it's amazing. Okay, so let me go back to my original line of thought. And guys, don't really. The next time you go to a job interview and you start to negotiate your salary, please think about this, okay? And if you understand the context, there's no way you're not going to laugh. Because, fuck, this is ridiculous. This is preposterous, horrible. So anyway, let's go back to my original line of thought. What I think the ideal life looks like and what my goal is. And my goal is to get financial freedom. I think most people can relate to that. I'm trying to build a business, which I am very bad at because I was not raised up like this. I never learned this. Again, I came on the typical wage slave route because that's what they told me in all my life, that's the only route, so don't think anything outside of that. But I am trying to start my own business. I'm trying to get hold of my own time, my own life. I'm trying to take fear under control, and that's it. It sounds like a very simple goal. As a matter of fact, where I'm at right now, I'm not going to say it looks impossible because nothing. I truly believe that nothing is impossible. But let's just say it's like 99%. It's not possible. Let's put it this way. So 1% keeps me sane and hopeful and alive. It's not much to hang on, right? But that's what we have. By the way, I know I'm not unique in this matter. I know hundreds of millions of people can relate to that. And I hope you get inspired and you start to think your own process of liberating yourself and liberating your kids and liberating. But first of all, you have to save yourself. Then only then you can save others. Okay, guys. I think I'm done with this for now. Is there anything else? No, I think these were the main points. So, if you spend 25 minutes of your life watching this video, then I say thank you and I appreciate it. And if it helped anybody to get their priorities straight, then it's even better. Again, time is the most precious resource. Don't ever forget that. All right, that's it, guys. Out. Send out.